in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattending while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank you everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all joined this call? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all wish to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving your association daily. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees on the call, and all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Anita from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anta Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shyamakuri Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your sweet association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Rani.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji. This is Kamala Kidasi from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mother Kamudki Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association. Hare Krishna. Nice to see you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radharani Devi Dasi from Baltimore. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radharani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your sweet association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. All glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Rashmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anybody else in the call would like to introduce?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev. This is Sri Hari Radha Devi Dasi from Fairfax, Virginia. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to everybody.
Hare Krishna, Sri Hari Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Is this first time, Mataji, you are joining the call?
No, Mataji, I'm a regular. I joined.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and the assembled devotees. This is Shiromani Nandarani Devidasi from Krishna Katha Desh. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Shrimani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhu ji to enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 17th chapter, verse 22 onwards. First, I would like to hand over call to Suresham Prabhu ji for brief introduction of Prabhu ji. Hare Krishna, Suresham Prabhu ji. Dandavat pranam all to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. I would like to hand over call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. His Grace Gaur Sukumar Prabhuji was born in Maharashtra, brought up in a social background where spirituality was often questioned. Later, he developed a natural taste for inquiry into the mysteries of God's creation. Prabhuji passed out from College of Engineering, Pune Mechanical in 2003. He came in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness in 2003. Prabhuji found all questions answered in Srila Prabhupada's books. As a student of MBA Finance, he studied Srila Prabhupada's books and became a sincere practitioner. He joined the NCDX, National Commodities and Derivatives Exchange, Mumbai as assistant manager and worked for 3 years. Later, he took on a 2-year brahmachari training course in Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, Mumbai, and was initiated into Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2010. He was in the youth preaching department and in the seva of guiding the youth. He always wanted to share his joy of Krishna consciousness with the youth. So he gave up his job and decided to help the misguided youth by helping them understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. He joined ISKCON Chowpatty as a resident in 2009. Later was posted to ISKCON Nasik Temple. He is serving as a youth counselor in various colleges of Nasik. He conducts seminars on personality development topics in educational and corporate sector. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for introduction. Mataji, I didn't see Prabhuji join the call.
Prabhuji is already there, Mataji.
Already.
Hare Krishna, I'm here, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All praise to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now I would like to hand over call to you, Prabhuji. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. So just a moment. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So we'll start with the Mangala Charan and invoke the blessings of the Acharyas. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yen Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Natanamini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate giram yakrapatam vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramanandamatam. Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, thank you. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5th, Chapter 17th, and text number 22 and 23. The title of the chapter is The Descent of River Ganga. Yasyad asid guna vigraho maha Vitnyanadhishno Bhagavan aja kila Yad shambhavoham trivritasva tejasa Vaikarikam tamasamendriya srije Ete vayam yasya vashe mahatmana Stita shakunta iva sutra yantrita Mahanaham vaikrita tamasendriya Shruyama sarve yadanugrahadidam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. From the personality of Godhead appears Lord Brahma, whose body is made from total material energy, the reservoir of intelligence predominated by the passionate mode of material nature. So your Prabhupada is saying that the body of Lord Brahma is exclusively made up of material intelligence. From Lord Brahma, I myself am born as the representation of false ego known as Rudra. And then from, the story from the initial cantos, third canto, where when Lord Brahma gets angry at the time of creation, from between his eyebrows comes Lord Rudra as the cause of his anger. By my own powers, I create all the other demigods and the five elements and the senses. Therefore, I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than any of us, and under whose control are situated all the demigods, the material elements, and the senses. And even Lord Brahma and I myself, like birds bound by rope, only by the Lord's grace can create, maintain, and annihilate the material world. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Being. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The summary of creation is given in this verse. From Sankarshana, Mahavishnu expands, and from Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and expands. Lord Brahma, who is born of Garbhodakshay Vishnu, fathers Lord Shiva, from whom all the other demigods gradually evolve. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu are the incarnation of different material qualities. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Vishnu are incarnation of different material qualities. Lord Vishnu is actually above all material qualities, but he accepts control of Sattva Guna, the mode of goodness, to maintain the universe. Lord Brahma is born from Mahat Tattva. Brahma creates the entire universe. Lord Vishnu maintains it, and Lord Shiva annihilates it. The Supreme Personality of Godhead controls all the most important demigods, especially Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, exactly as the owner of the bird controls it by binding it with a rope. Sometimes vultures are controlled in this way. Hare Krishna. So, we welcome all devotees for this Srimad Bhagavatam class. So grateful to all of you for allowing me to make a presentation here and start our day with trying to understand Srimad Bhagavatam in a greater detailed way. And the very fact that we are discussing on each and every shloka in itself shows that we are trying to love Srimad Bhagavatam so that we can understand what Lord Krishna's message is for us. Just like some of our devotees from our Nasik temple recently got to see His Holiness Radha Govinda Swami Maharaj, and they had the good fortune of meeting their personal servants as well. So at the time, they were asking about Maharaj to the personal servants. So they were saying that these days we are absolutely unaware as to what time Maharaj would ask for what things. Maharaj at any given point of time can ask for any kind of Srimad Bhagavatam. So wherever and whenever Maharaj is traveling, all the 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are kept ready for him. So that whatever he asks is ready in his hand and he starts reading for hours together. And sometimes Maharaj is crying, and sometimes Maharaj is in his own trance, and Maharaj is most of the time meditating or in his internal journey in relishing the pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. So here is one person about whom Srila Prabhupada said that he is a pure devotee of Lord Chaitanya and has come from the group of Lord Chaitanya to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. And he, in his entire life journey, has taught us how to fall in love with Srimad Bhagavatam. Through his personal example, he has shown us that. At this moment where his body is not in a very good condition, he wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning. At any time he wakes up, and he will wake up his servant and tell him, please give me Srimad Bhagavatam. And he has so many people to assist him in his service to Srila Prabhupada. But there is one person and there are 10 people assisting him, but all of them get tired because there is so much of service related to Maharaj. And here is Maharaj, whose health is not in a very stable condition, and still 2 o'clock, whenever he wakes up, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, he'll just wake up the servant and tell him, give me Srimad Bhagavatam. At that early hours of morning, Maharaj is reading Srimad Bhagavatam and greatly absorbed. So here, as we all as sadhakas, some are senior devotees, some are beginners, but we all are trying to bring about the great revolution. Just like Maharaj has presented himself as a sadhaka, and in his whole life he has been preaching and just reading and repeating the words of Srila Prabhupada. And look at what has happened to his life. Maharaj, whenever he goes to Vrindavan or whenever he's in Vrindavan, whenever he visits different places of Radha Krishna pastimes, he hears from the Vrajvasis the stories that he has been telling from so long. He hears them from the Vrajvasis and he's crying tears. He's only crying and crying. This is not the crying where it is because of the bodily pain. No, it is because of the intense pain of separation that he is facing in his service to his beloved Lord Radha and Krishna in the spiritual world. So here is what happens to a person who is daily hearing Srimad Bhagavatam or daily speaking about Srimad Bhagavatam. So here we are on the 5th canto where the descent of Mother Ganga is been presented, and how in the first 14 shlokas, what happens to her flow and the various varshas where she has been flowing through are greatly described. And then from 16 to 24, we are on the last but second shloka here of this chapter. And this 16th to 24 are the prayers of Lord Shiva, who is staying in the Ilavarta Parva Varsha, and he's praying to his beloved Lord, from whom he has got the name Shankara. So Shankar, this word comes from the one who worship Lord Sankarshana, is called as Shankar. And that is his beloved and worshipable deity, and he is constantly meditating on Lord Sankarshana. So that is what Prabhupada has written in this. And in the 16th shloka, we see that in the Ilavarta Varsha, he has been served by Mother Parvati, and there are billions and billions of maid servants to assist them in their service to Lord Krishna. And in this 17th shloka, he is speaking about his beloved Lord, Lord Sankarshan. Then in the 18th shloka, he himself is making a confirmation as to whom he is worshipping. He is worshipping the Supreme Lord, Sankarshan, who is full of 6 opulences. That is what the shloka says. Bhagasya Krishnasya Param Parayanam. He is Bhagasya. Bhagasya means Bhaga is opulence. And he's full of all those 6 opulence. And he manifests different forms. Bhakteshva Alam Bhavita Bhuta Bhavana. And he is manifesting different forms just to please the minds of devotees, the forms in which the devotees would like to worship him. And what happens when the devotees come in contact with the various pastimes and the various forms of the Lord. Bhavapaham tava bhava bhavam Ishwaram. So what happens when we hear the Srimad Bhagavatam and the various pastimes of the Lord? The repeated cycle of birth and death is completely broken. That is how it stops. Just by hearing about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. 18th shloka, he is glorifying the Supreme Lord, Sankarshan. And what is the speciality of this Lord? Then he speaks that in the 19th shloka. Nayasya maya gunachitta vrittibhi nirikrishto ya anva apidrishta arjate. He is saying that when the Lord glances on the material energy, he is not affected by the material energy. Whereas on the other side, when we, especially speaking about himself and Lord Brahma, when we glance on the material energy, at times we get agitated by the various forms that are created by the material energy. Ishe yatano ajita manyu ramhasa. There is a great force of various desires. And when the desires are not fulfilled, manyu ramhasam, there is a great force of anger that is created, and we have to tolerate that force. So what to speak of others when we are not able to control that force, then what to speak of others? So this is how he himself is glorifying the Lord, that the Lord can do anything with the material prakriti or the material form, but still he is not agitated in his mind. And in the next shlokas, in the 20th shloka, I will be quoting the examples of the Nagapatnis. The Nagapatnis, they indeed were very beautiful. Srimad Bhagavatam mentions about them. But when they saw the Lord, they got affected by the Lord's beauty. Just by the Lord's touch, they were agitated in their mind. But when Lord Krishna was dancing on Kaliya, and when he was looking at the beauty of the Nagapatnis, Lord Krishna was completely peaceful. So he's quoting that example, the unagitated Lord, their interaction between the Lord and his devotees, especially in terms of the Nagapatnis and Lord Krishna dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. They became agitated. This is what Lord Shiva is saying. But that same Lord was never agitated, even in the association of the most beautiful Dwarika, queens of Dwarika. Lord Shiva name is taken there by our Shukadev Goswami. He says that just by the sidelong glances of Lord Shiva, of the queens of Dwarika, Lord Shiva was agitated. Just by the sidelong glance, not even seeing the complete face, Lord Shiva is agitated. That is what Shukadev Goswami says in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. I mean, he describes the pastimes in Vrindavan and outside Vrindavan in the 3rd canto. The most wonderful point here is what Lord Shiva is mentioning here is that he is presenting himself as he is. The way we say that he is the authentic self. He is presenting himself as is. There is no dilution. Now here is the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is like the essence of all the Vedic Shastra. And Lord Shiva himself is saying that myself and Brahma are affected by the glances, or we are sometimes agitated by anger or various emotions that we have. But Lord Krishna or Lord Shankarshan is never agitated in terms of seeing the material forms. So look at the simplicity and humility of this person, who is none other than the material form of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna or Mahavishnu. Just like Brahmaji says in Brahma Samhita, Kshiram Yatha Dadi Vikara Vishesh. He is the same Supreme Lord Vishnu who has taken the form of Lord Shiva for a particular purpose. Because since Lord Vishnu is in complete and pure goodness, and material Prakriti is in the lower modes, so to come in contact with the Prakriti, he has to take another form, and that form is Lord Shiva. So he here himself is saying that, look at the humility and the genuineness of this great personality, Lord Shiva, who is none other than expansion of Lord Vishnu. We know all this. We have been reading Brahma Samhita for so long. And he himself is saying that whatever powers, in this 22nd and 23rd shloka, he'll be saying that whatever work we have to do, we get all the power from Lord Krishna. And he is that person from whom we are deriving our power. And this same thing, what the Srimad Bhagavatam is speaking, no, Srimad Bhagavatam cannot be read and understood by all sadhakas. There are some sadhakas. Just like during initiation, we see that there are some devotees from village background who haven't learned anything in their lives. They are like, in Hindi we say anguta chap. They can't even sign. They have to put a thumb impression to sign the paper. The sign is their thumb. So they are that illiterate. How will they understand it? But here, our beloved Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his book Sharanagati has given the essence of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam in one bhajan itself. So there are so many bhajans that he has written. He has made it so accessible and so easy. The essence of all the Vedic Shastras is given in his bhajans. So even if you can't understand Bhagavad, read the bhajan and you will be able to make your life successful. Just like I was reading this bhajan, we all know this bhajan, very famous bhajan. We always sing this. Ekona bhujina Prabhu, Tomara charane, akshobha bhaya amrita purna sarvakshana. He says, my dear Lord, I am here meditating on your form, your lotus feet. Ekona bhujina Prabhu, Tomara charan. And what is happening when I meditate on your charana? Akshobha bhaya. I am free of all the bhaya and kshobha. When I am meditating sarvakshana, on every moment when I am meditating on them. Sakala chadiya tua charana kamale. Odiyachi aminatha tava padatari. Sakala chadiya tua. For you I have left everything, my Lord, and I have surrendered completely. Tava padatale. I have surrendered at your lotus feet. So the next point is saying, so what's the speciality of the Lord feet? Tava pada padmanatha rokive amare ara raksha karta nai e bhava samsari. He's saying, my dear Lord, I cannot find any better shelter than your lotus feet in this terrible and miserable material world which is filled with the three modes and influence every person every moment. Then he remembers, oh my Lord, who was I in previously? Ami tava nitya dasa janinu eibar. Now I have realized I am your eternal servant. Amara palana bhara ekonatomara. And when I was there with you, even then I was dependent on you. And here coming into the material world, I am even more dependent on you now. He says, I have come to this realization. Janinu eibar. I have realized this. And when I have realized this, I am feeling very miserable. Bada dukkha payachi swatantra jivane. The rebellious nature that I showed and became separate from you, swatantra jivane. I became independent from you. I told you that I want to become independent. Swatantra jivane. Dukkha dure gelo opada varane. But now when I have surrendered to you, all that miseries which has come on account of being having an independent life apart from you, now all those miseries are gone. Then he is explaining about four people: Rama, Shiva, Brahma, and Narada. How have these people got their powers? Jepada lagia Rama, tapasya kurila. Meditating on these lotus feet, Lakshmi Devi is performing tapasya for millions and millions of years. And meditating on these feet, Jepada Paya Shiva, Shivatvalabiya. The auspicious qualities that Lord Shiva has got is exclusively by meditating on your lotus feet. And this is the exact same thing that here in 22nd and 23rd shloka, Lord Shiva is repeating. He's saying, I've got all my strength from you. There is nobody who has been able to empower me. Just like in the Brahma Vaivarta Puran, the story comes when it was time for creation and things were getting managed by Lord Krishna himself. Then Lord Krishna, he tells, now he hands over Saraswati Devi to Brahma Ji, and he is like coordinating all the event. And at the end, only two people are left. One is Lord Shiva and other is Parvati Devi, who is none other than the Maya Shakti of the Supreme Lord. And Lord Shiva, he then goes to Lord Shiva and tells him that, okay, now only she is left and she is the best candidate for you. And Lord Shiva absolutely denies there. He says, I will not marry her at any cost. Lord Krishna is asking, why you will not marry her? What's the problem? He says, she is your external energy, and day in, day out, if I am staying with her, how will I be able to remember it? It will become impossible for me to remember. And that is where Lord Krishna promises him, just like he has promised Shukdev Goswami to come out of the womb and the material energy will not touch you. That is where Lord Krishna tells Lord Shiva that you constantly keep chanting my names and meditate on my lotus feet. None of my external energies will ever touch you. That is my assurance. That is what Brahma Vaivarta Puran says. Lord Shiva is meditating and chanting Lord Krishna's name. And all those qualities that he has that are displayed, and we'll be discussing some of them in our session today, is all because of he's been meditating on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Je pada labiya Brahma kritartha hoila. Kritartha means the life of Lord Brahma became successful only and only when he meditated on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Je pada Narada Muni hridaya dore. And these are the lotus feet by which Narad Muni's life has become auspicious, because he is holding them to his heart. Se abhaya pada shirete doriya parama anande nachi pada gunagaya. He is saying, now I understand the power of this lotus feet. Such great personalities are holding your lotus feet close to their hearts, and they are being empowered to what an extent. Nobody can fathom the extent to which they are empowered. And exact same thing is just like here in the previous shloka speaking about the Parama Anande Nachi. All these great personality are dancing holding your lotus feet. And the same exact thing he'll be repeating in our Gaur Aarti. Shiva Shuka Narada Prema Gada Gada Bhakati Vinoda Deka Gorara Sampada. He's saying that Shiva, Shuka, Nara, what is happening to them when they are seeing the Gaur Aarti? Preme Gada Gada. Their heart is dancing in joy. And seeing this opulence of the Supreme Lord, Lord Chaitanya, Bhakti Vinoda Deke Gorara Sampada. He's seeing the opulence and beauty of Lord Gaurachandra. And in that Gaurati, what is he seeing? Shuka, Shiva, Narad, all are dancing and becoming mad in ecstasy just by seeing the beauty of Lord Chaitanya. So we have to understand that here he is presenting himself with such genuine humility, Lord Shiva. It takes a great courage to tell the world that yes, I am fallen. It takes a great courage. It's not easy for anyone and everyone to tell the world that, see what you see me in my lectures, or you see me dealing with people, I'm not that great. I have absolutely fallen. It takes a great courage to tell in front of all. And here he's not speaking in a private group. He's speaking here in Srimad Bhagavatam, which has been read from the time of creation. If you read the third canto, it is clear. Chatushloki Bhagavad was given when? The first day of Lord Brahma was given. And it is repeated ever since then. The Chatushloki Bhagavad. Even Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma knows this. So it takes great courage. But where does a person get that great courage from? It is a byproduct of the devotional process that we are following, which is given by our acharyas, Gaudiya acharyas. So the great treasure of this devotional practice, especially the devotional practice where we are in the practice of getting the Vraja Bhakti, which is so rare. If you read the purports of Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, most of the time we ask this question, why did Bharat Maharaj get overly attached? So one of the point that comes is, he already had that great bhakti for the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been crying and saying the Supreme Lord everywhere. But the Acharyas mentioned that he wanted this confidential bhakti, Braj Bhakti. And that is why he was first drowned in the pool of separation. And when he came out and became Jad Bharat, he was constantly floating in that transcendental ecstasy where not for a single moment he was forgetting the Lord. That separation created him, allowed him to float in the ocean of sweetness in separation of the Lord. And that Vraj Bhakti, for which he became Jad Bharat, to experience that great taste and the great sweetness of Krishna's pastimes, we are getting it free at such a petty price, just because of the mercy of our Gaudiya Acharyas. But for that, what we have to do is just be genuine. Even the Lord understands what kind of lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion, what's happening in our hearts. Every moment is stressing that. He is the personal witness. So why fake? For whom are we practicing this devotional service? Are we practicing it to show to the world, or are we practicing it to show to the Supreme Lord? So when the Supreme Lord knows everything, why fake? It's okay. If I'm angry, it's okay. If I'm proud, it's okay. Because the Lord knows it. I'm struggling through it. But at least I'm aware. And this awareness is created by the chanting quality. At least I'm aware of this anarthas. And I'm aware that I have to deal with this anartha. Here Lord Shiva is presenting himself. He is saying, the Nagapatnis got agitated. At times we get agitated. We have the entire pastime of Mohini Murti in 8th canto, where his wife, sitting next to his wife, is running behind Mohini Murti. That needs great strength to tell the world, I am this, but I am practicing spirituality, and the day will come when the Lord will favor me also, and I'll reach to a great height where I can serve the Lord every moment. So in this 19th shloka, he's saying that I'm taking the help of the Lord to overcome my problems, personal problem, whatever he's facing. Whenever he's facing the problem, he goes to the Lord. That's exactly what we have to do. Go to devotees, go to Lord, cry. I was hearing from Her Grace Urmila Mataji, old lecture she gave in Chopati temple. And she made a very beautiful point. I really felt very grateful to her because, see, nobody tells what mistakes and what feelings they have. Now, she's a very senior devotee. She's a very senior devotee, proper disciple. We all know her. And she's a powerful preacher. I have seen her chant in Vrindavan. She chants like, I was praying someday, may I chant like her. I've seen her chanting in Vrindavan when she comes for Kartik. So she was saying, there was a time when she was very angry at the management of Krishna Balram temple because there were certain issues which were not handled as per Prabhupada wanted them to be. And she was going to each and every authority and she was presenting the case every now and then. And I think for years she did that. And ultimately nothing happened. And then at one Kartik Yatra, it so happened that His Grace Bhurijan Prabhu was also there. And then she told Bhurijan Prabhu that I don't feel that happiness when I come here because when I see these things, it hinders my consciousness. Then she told that Bhurijan Prabhu told her a very beautiful point, and she kept that in mind always whenever she comes to Vrindavan. What His Grace Bhurijan Prabhu told her was, see, that's none of your business. Are you the authority here? She said, no. But it's my duty as proper disciple to tell them. He said, okay, did you do your part? She said, yes, I did my part. So are they taking any action? She said, no, for such a long time, there is no action against this. So then he said, your part is over. But she said, I can't see it happening here. At that time, His Grace Bhurijan Prabhu told her that, see, Krishna listens to only one person in Vrindavan. That is his elder brother, Balram. If you have any problem, go to him and tell him. And she went and spoke whatever was in her heart. She was standing and continuously praying to Balramji. And to his utter surprise, within a very short period of time, whatever she desired, which she thought was according to Prabhupada's plan, did happen. Did happen. So most of the time what happens is, yes, we are faced with many problems, but the way or the methodology that we take is not the right one, which our Acharyas desire that we should be taking. Okay, so here in the 19th shloka, he is saying that I'm taking help of the Lord to overcome my problem. And he's candidly speaking about it. The shortcoming that he's been facing is constantly speaking about it. And then he gives this example of the Nagapatnis, and where he's saying that he's not able to control his anger and this forces of various anarthas. And he's using such a beautiful word. Jigishu Atmanaha. Jigishu means he's trying to conquer. He's not saying I have conquered. Prabhupada writes Jigishu as aspiring to conquer. Aspiring to conquer. We say aspiring devotee. Means he's a sadhaka. Here he is using the word for himself that he himself is a student before the Supreme Lord. Jigishu Atmana. Atmana is the sense he is not able to control. Ajita. I have not conquered. Manyu, anger, Ramhasam, the great force. But on the contrary, externally people are worshipping him like the supreme devotee. In the 12th canto, 13th chapter, we see Vaishvananam Yatashambhu, the greatest of the devotees. But here, the same devotee is taking a very humble and meek position. Vaishvana, he is the greatest of the Vaishnavas. But here, see, he is himself taking such a humble position. And then, in the next shlokas, he is giving the examples of the Nagapatnis. But the entire thing which Prabhupada presents in this episode is, why is he doing all this? Because he has the mindset that how I can serve better Lord Krishna. Now we all know that the Lord does everything: creation, maintenance, destruction. But just to show the world, he has given creation part to Brahmaji, he maintains, and destruction is given to Lord Shiva. So 22nd and 23rd shloka, he himself is saying that only by the grace of Lord we create, maintain, and annihilate. Therefore, I offer my humble obeisances to the Supreme Lord. So let's take this one point where he is as he is, in spite of having all the powers to annihilate. Now, when we speak of Lord Shiva, we only see him as a person, either as a Rudra Tattva, destroying the world, or as Lord Shiva, meditating and doing nothing else, just chanting Namami cha Smarami ja. He's saying, I am constantly offering obeisances and I am constantly remembering Supreme Lord Krishna. That's the only thing he does when he's asked in Srimad Bhagavatam. So there is a huge understanding which the Acharyas give for Lord Shiva. He is not just a simple Rudra Tattva destroying the world, and as Lord Shiva, he is just sitting and meditating. No. When a person does PhD on any subject, what does the PhD mean? He is internalizing the entire subject. Means constantly there is meditation on that subject, and by meditation, the entire subject matter grows. He's internalizing it. He's adding more and more perspective to the same subject. And that is how it grows. The subject matter is only this much. But when I see it through different perspective, it grows to such a great size that it becomes a thesis. And then I present it to the world that this is my opinion, this is my vision. I've seen it through different angles, and this is what I've been presenting. Just like we have Vaidya. Vaidya is Vid. Vid means knower. Vaidya means he knows what is happening inside the body. That is why he's called Vaidya. Just like for Lord Shiva, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu we say. But the same Brahma Samhita will say Achintya Bheda Abhed. Just like he is milk also because he is coming from Vishnu, but he is not Vishnu also because he is curd. And curd cannot be used instead of milk. So let's take some example to understand this simple example which Lord Brahma is giving. Now let's take one person. Lakshman, Balramji, and Nityananda Prabhu. They are the same person. We all know this. But look at the mindset and the variety of expressions that they are showing. Lakshmana is a total loyalist. He says, I will not even think of going beyond the words of Lord Ram. Whatever he says, that is final for me. And to what extent does he become a loyalist? When Lord Ram says to Lakshmana, build a fire and you tell Sita, you have to test yourself for your purity. When she comes out of Lanka, you have to test yourself for purity. Lord Ram is not seeing till the entire test is done. All done by Lakshmana. They come back to Ayodhya and the Dhobi says something and he tells Lakshmana, people are speaking, take her for a trip outside Ayodhya and drop her at the ashram of Valmiki Rishi. Tell her only when she gets down from the rath. And if she asks, where are we going? Tell her we are going for a treat. We are going for a retreat. I'll take you to the grooves. And when she gets down, just before the ashram of Valmiki Rishi, and she's so happy because she likes to be in the jungle. And when he wants to tell her, he starts crying like a baby. This is what Ramayana is speaking about Lakshmana. The great, powerful Lakshmana, who's, when he twangs his bow, people are scared to death. He's crying. That is where Mother Sita asks him, what happened? Tell me what has happened. And then, with great courage, he has to speak. This is what Lord Ram has told me to do with you. Absolute loyalist. He is not thinking anything beyond Ram. But when that same Lakshmana comes as Balram is absolute separatist. Right from starting, both have difference of opinion. One is supporting Arjuna, one is supporting Duryodhana. One made Duryodhana his student, one made Arjuna his friend. All favors to Duryodhana. To what extent? To marrying Subhadra to Arjuna, to Duryodhana? He says, no, this is me. I am like this. And there is Nityananda Prabhu, extremist. He will do exactly opposite to what Lord Chaitanya has told. He said, don't come again. You go and preach in Bengal. Next year he comes to Puri. Lord Chaitanya tells him, hold the danda, don't break it. He breaks it into 3 parts. There is no coherence, there is no harmony, all opposite. But is this opposing the very principle of service? No, it is not. All these 3 moods are just enhancing the rasa. It's the integral part of service. All these are done to enhance the lila part, the rasa part of the lila. So Shastra has so many personalities to broaden our perspective, our views regarding the process and the people involved in devotional service. Take Kaikai. People say she is a bad person. If she would not have sent Ram, would the entire process be stretched? The 14-year episode, would it have taken place? No, you would have only heard of the loving pastimes. And how about the people, those who have been worshipping Lord Ram and waiting for him from such long years? No, that would not have happened. It is only because of Kaikai. Prabhupada says we have to be thankful to her. That because of her, Lord Ramchandra had to come out. So at times we become rigid in our opinions or in our views. Violence and non-violence, both are required according to the time. We see violence and non-violence opposite. Truth and false opposite. Discipline and mercy opposite. No, it is not. Sometimes it helps also to make the person grow. At times it may be right, it is opposite, but at times it is complementary to each other. Complementary, just like Lord Shiva and Lord Rudra. They both are tattva. They have a different mindset. They work differently, but they work in such a way that they are complementary to the entire process. Just like Lord Shiva, completely peaceful. He is indifferent to the world. Even when he is peaceful, in the Daksha Yajna, when such a big gathering, thousands and thousands of people and all top class people, such great yajna, such great chanting of mantras, and what he's doing is sitting peacefully and just remembering the lotus feet of the Lord. It's absolutely undifferent. There is no difference in him. And that indifference became such a turning point of the entire event that it became a weird experience for everybody. Sitting and meditating among chaos, that is his speciality. He can do that. Just like in Gita, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mama Anusmariti. Lord says, I don't want to fight. There is no question of Yuddhacha. I will only meditate. Only Anusmar. No Yuddha for me. I don't like that. Exactly on the contrary, Rudra Tattva, destruction. Just like in the 3rd canto, we see when Brahmaji told Lord Rudra to procreate, he created such a progeny that they created havoc. Brahmaji had to tell Lord Rudra, stop. This is not the kind of progeny we want. Absolutely stop. Go in the jungles and perform tapasya with your wives. I'll call you when I need you. They were about to attack Lord Brahma. That is the kind of destruction. But that same mindset of destruction, now Lord Vishnu is exclusively known for what? Maintenance. In the 3 people we know, Lord Vishnu is known for maintenance. But in Prahlad pastime, Lord Narsimha Dev destroyed the entire army. Lord Ramchandra here in Nasik destroyed the entire 14,000 Rakshasas in 40 minutes. One Murta. Now, destruction is not his work. And even after showing his destructive power, he's still angry. Lord Narasimhadev is still angry. And that is where Lord Shiva comes and prays him. My dear Lord, please become peaceful, because this is not your nature. This is not your job. Yugante Kopa Kala. At the end of the Yuga, this is my job, that I have to be to display this anger and then destroy the world. This Kopa is manifested by me. Your Kopa has come in form of me. That is my job. But I do it at the right time for the right activity to get the right effect. Three things: right time, right activity to get the right effect. Most of the time, we sadhakas are not able to reconcile the events that are happening in our lives. Prakriti or nature has been designed by Krishna in such a way that she hits the person at the right time with the right intensity to get the right effect. Let's take two examples. Daksha. When Daksha did that Vaishnava aparat to Lord Shiva in the first place, why was he made the head of all the people, all the devatas? Because Brahmaji knew Prakriti will now increase his pride to such a great extent, because he's not listening to anybody, he's not bothered about anybody, he's yelling at his own father, Brahmaji, because of you I had to marry my daughter. He speaks like this. But then what Prakriti will do? Okay, you are not listening, then she will increase his material prosperity, which will increase his material pride, and to that extent it will take her. And from when that height, greatest height, this candidate will fall, it will create a proper impact. And that is where his heart transforms. He had to get killed. And then when Lord Shiva puts the head of a goat, and when he wakes up, that is the point of time. That is the episode through which he had to go and learn to understand, oh, this person is such a great personality, Lord Shiva. So Prakriti has her own plans. If it was so that it is equal for all, then why did Krishna kill Putana when he was 6 days and Kamsa when he was 11 years and 6 months? He could have killed Kamsa on the first day. Here he is 6 days old and is killing Putana. He could have done that on the first day to Kamsa. No. He is to create that impact for that personal candidate, to make him understand Prakriti will wait, Krishna will wait. Krishna wait. When the Mahabharata Yuddha took place, they say that Krishna was 90 to 95 years old. And he lived for 125 years. Look at the time that he has waited. Why? Because he wanted all things to fit exactly in place. But what happens is, we as sadhaka are so desperate. We are so desperate that why is Krishna doing this to me? Why is Krishna not changing my situation? Let's give some time to Krishna to change the situation. It's an organic change. It's an organic growth. It's not a miracle that is going to take place, because miracles happens only once. But the point with the sadhaka is he wants to see miracles every day. Most of the time the situation has passed and then Krishna has revived the person. Sandipuni Muni's sons, Krishna's 6 brothers, they died. The 10 sons of the Brahmana, they died, and then Krishna got them back. There is only one person, Parikshit Maharaj. Emergency, it was such an emergency. Krishna said, no, it is crucial for him to be saved. He saved him at that point. In life, what Krishna expects from us is that give me little time to change the entire flow of events that has been tracked by your past karma, has been tracked for you by your past karma. Give me some time to change, because I want the best impact. I want the best effect for you, so that you never forget me. Till then, we need to be in association of devotees and tolerate based on the daily Bhagavatam classes that we have. So these 3 aspects of creation, maintenance, destruction, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all 3 can do all 3 aspects. There is nothing great for them. But other 2 cannot become Vishnu and do his part. Just like But Lord Vishnu can do other things. He says in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, I am Brahma, Rudranam Shankaras Chasmi, I am Shankara among the Rudra. And here as Lord Narasimhadev, he is showing his destructive power, which is nothing other than the power of which he has given to Lord Rudra. Destructive power. Lord Shiva shows his maintenance quality. Lord Shiva has that power to maintain. Where did he show? He is showing that in the 8th canto, Samudra Manthan. He is drinking that entire halal, which could have destroyed the world. But his duty is to destroy it. And that halal is the Rudra Tattva. But he says, no, this time is not for destruction. So I will maintain. So Lord Vishnu tells him, you maintain because I'm busy in something else. And he's maintaining the entire creation by drinking. And look at the relationship point. Such sensitivity. Lord has called him in an emergency. But still he is asking his wife, do I have your permission? With your permission, I would like to do that service. And his wife happily gives him that permission. Look at the sensitivity of this person, Lord Shiva, who here himself is showing himself like a sadhaka. But look at the sensitivity that he has. Even in those crises where the entire world is suffering, he knows that this lady is also dependent on me. If tomorrow something happens to me, she should not say, my husband didn't ask me before he went to that job. He's taking her permission. See, this is how relationships are maintained. And she also says, okay, you go because this is the time when the world needs your help. So all the three aspects are found in all three. And this is not only in those three people. It is seen in all aspects of life. Just like take water. Water has the quality to maintain, create and destroy. If you take some seeds and put it in water, initially it's like nothing. It's like dead. But when you put it in water, they absorb the water, they get plump. Now they are back to normal. And after some days, you see when we just sprinkle little water, it starts sprouting. There is new life that is coming out of it. And that life is maintained, and then it grows into a big tree. And then it is destroyed for a period of time. So same water which gave life, brought back the life, grew the life. And when that same fruit of that tree is taken in the mouth in the form of saliva, the water which is in the form of saliva will break down the entire food into pieces. It will destroy it. Water has that maintenance, creation, destruction. Take fire. Fire also has three aspects: maintenance, creation, destruction. There is fire in our body. That is why body is maintained. It's cold here in Maharashtra now. It's 9 degrees, 7 degrees, 8 degrees and daytime it's like 12, 13, 14 and there is no sunlight. It's cold, but there is a fire inside the body which maintains the body, which keeps the body warm. Otherwise it will be dead. The body will be dead. A small fire, when it is brought to some utility, it cooks the food and that food we eat. But when that same small fire is not handled cautiously, it becomes uncontrolled. It becomes a Chicago fire. It destroys the entire place. And the same thing we see in life of Hanumanji, who is none other than the Rudra Tattva, who is none other than the expansion of Lord Shiva. Hanumanji's tail was set on fire. Shankara Suvana Kesari. He himself is Lord, expansion of Lord Shiva. Teja Pratapa Mahajagvandan. And he, when he was caught by Ravana, his tail was set up on fire, just small flame, so that the tail which is so dear to the monkeys, it gets hurt. And that is what will cause him great pain. Because that's the pride they have. That's the pride they carry. Their tail is the pride. So if you touch their tail, you're gone. So that was set on fire. That was such a small fire. But when that small fire was used in a proper manner by Hanumanji in service to the Lord, when his anger, which was small in nature initially when he was caught, became like an inferno, that inside anger came outside and the entire Lanka was burnt. Srila Prabhupada is glorifying that anger. Hanumanji used anger to serve Lord Krishna, Lord Ram. But if you ask Hanumanji, according to Ramayana, when he goes and dips his tail in water, that is where he settles down. That is when the anger subsides, because the water is cold. And then and that is where he realizes, oh my God, I've burned the entire Lanka. Maybe Sita also must have died there. It must have hurt her also. So he's not willing to go back because his mind is reeling. What will I tell Ram? Sita is gone. With great painful heart, he goes in Ashok Vatika and he sees her meditate. And he's so happy. Then he offers respects and runs back. And when he's coming back, when he lands there, he tells those people, and they are so happy, they're rushing back to Kishkinda. And when they meet Lord Ram, Hanumanji comes there and he is narrating the entire story of how he met Mother Sita. And when Lord Ram gave him that ring, he kept it in his mouth. Entire while he had kept that ring. That is what Ramayana said. He has kept it in his mouth. Why? Because that ring had the name Ram, which indicates that you should keep the holy name always in your mouth. He was always chanting the names of Lord Ram. Now, when he saw Mother Sita, she was praying to the Ashoka tree. This is the first vision that he has of Mother Sita. She's praying to the Ashoka tree. She's saying, you are Ashoka and my life is full of Shoka. Make me Ashoka. Make me free from all these miseries. And that is where he shows her that ring. When he saw Mother Sita praying to the Ashoka tree, make me free from the Shoka, make me like you, Ashoka, he gives that ring. And he says, the holy name of Lord will dissipate all your miseries. It will make you free from all the misery. And the Acharya gives a very beautiful explanation. They say the name of Sri Ram is made up of Ra, A, Ma. Three factors. Ra indicates Agni, A indicates Chandra, Ma indicates Surya. So he is saying, if you chant the names of Lord Ram, she was already doing it. That is why she survived. There is no other reason for her survival, exclusively apart from chanting of the holy names of Lord Ram. That the Chandra part gave coolness to her mind and body, and it gave what? Wait for some time. He's coming. He's coming. That Ma in the name of Lord Ram, which is Surya, gave her brightness in that hopeless situation which was dark. It gave her some hope. Somebody will come and rescue me. And the Ra part, which indicates Agni. How did he use that? Hanumanji decided to use it in service of Lord Ram. The Agni Tattva. That same Agni Tattva he used in service of Lord Ram by burning the entire Lanka. What is Lanka indicative of? The attachments that stop us from chanting continuously the holy names of Krishna. And this is what he's telling Lord Ram. When Hanumanji was telling all this, Lord Ram lost control of his emotion. He was crying like a child. Everybody is watching. Now, again, the same point. We started with here, Lord Shiva saying that I get angry. When I see different forms, I get bewildered. Here, Sri Ram is crying. Who are seeing? Not one, not two, the entire Vanar Seva. The entire Vanar Seva which went in all the four directions. Hanumanji is seeing, Sugriv is seeing. He has lost his composure. Now, how do you interpret this? He is a sentient being. Lord is a sentient being. He has emotions. So when we see something in the Lord's life, we should not say he is an ordinary person. No, it is showing that his emotions for that one person, just like he is displaying his emotions for Mother Sita, he is also displaying the same kinds of emotion for every single jiva. He also cries. If he's crying for Sita, it is damn sure that he must be crying for every single jiva. There is no doubt in this. It's not only about Sita. Most of the time, we have a very rigid mindset. Oh, he's crying for Sita. Is he crying for me? He is crying. There is no doubt in this. Otherwise, why would he have been coming every now and then, running here and there in this avatar and that avatar? Why? Last time we saw that pastime. Ramanujacharya is telling, now there was crisis here, and devotees were intensely praying for Lord Narayan. And there was Aarti going on in Vaikunta. And in that Aarti, the Lord is restless, absolutely restless. And Lakshmi Devi sees this. And she understands what's going on in his mind. And she is like angry. She said, don't you have any emotions for all these devotees who are offering arti to you right now? Every now and then you run back to the material world. Every now and then you run back to the material. But then he holds himself. Now, at that time, what happens? There was initially, there is a dhoop that we offer. And the dhoop has that propensity to create smoke. So the dhoop created such a huge cloud of smoke, and all the devotees are like thinking that is the Lord is there. Just as the dhoop created smoke, the Lord rushed to the material world. Before the dhoop was over, he came back. And nobody even understood what has happened. Lakshmi is thinking, oh, he didn't go this time. He is here. He heard me. That's what Ramanujacharya is explaining in his Prabandhas. That is how he loves. There is no doubt about his love. What is the point in doubting a person who has been always there with us in every single species of life? So here he's saying that attachment is keeping us away from constant chanting. And Anuj is telling this Lord Ram loses his control, is emotional, and nobody is judging him. Oh, see, Supreme Lord is crying. No. Even they all started crying. Then to divert the attention of Lord Ram, Hanumanji tells the pastimes of Kakasur. And when Hanumanji told that, I told Mother Sita told me the pastime of Kakasur. And that is the point when Lord Ram is more confident that yes, he has seen Mother Sita, because that's the event only both of them. And that is the time Sita is asking Hanuman, for a crow, he threw a Brahmastra. Can't he throw a Brahmastra for me when I am suffering so much? Mother Sita is questioning the intentions, the power and the strength of Lord Ram. Why is he not sending a Brahmastra from there and getting me out of here? So, this is the same thing we do in our life. When we are faced with difficulties, we always question the intentions of the Lord. Why is he not coming? Why is he allowing me to go through? Why am I facing so many difficulties? Even Sita has questioned the intentions of the Lord. What to speak of Sadhaka? But why did he land? Why did she land up in Lanka? That's the main question. She chose that golden deer over Ram. That is why she landed up there. She chose the things to happen. Did Lord Ram tell her, choose me over the deer? No, she chose deer over Ram. Did she accept the proposal of Lakshman that don't cross this line? She did these two mistakes. That is why she landed up there. Similarly, we have landed up in crisis because of our own mistakes. And in spite of all this, the Lord is planning and planning and planning, and every moment in the 5th canto, now the prayers, when the prayers of the residents will come, there he's saying, Lord is using his intelligence how to get back each and every devotee. 5th chapter, 5th canto, prayers, when they start, there is one shloka. Maharaj will offer that prayer. Using his intelligence to get every single jiva back. That is what he's using. We are thinking he's doing Ras Leela there. Dancing with gopis, singing with mother, eating loni, makhan. What are we suffering here? It's not like that. Let's not judge the Lord for his intentions. There is no doubt about his love for us. And there's so many points, but I have another seva, so kindly excuse me interrupting in between the session. Thank you all very much for your kind and patient hearing. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very beautiful class, and you have shared so many points. I'm requesting devotees, if anybody have any questions or realization, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so very much for a wonderful class. I was missing your association because we haven't had class with you in a while. I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate the points you made about that things are not black or white, that they're basically gray, and we have to see, and we have to see the mercy of Krishna in all of them. I also really appreciate what you were saying about how we shouldn't necessarily feel bad about our anarthas. I needed to hear that. This is perfect for me today. And that we just need to keep chanting. We just need to keep chanting and have faith that Krishna will help, we will purify from our chanting. That was very special. I'm so grateful. And just everything that you said about, even about the different sides of Lord Balaram, how he appears in different form, again, showing that, things are not black and white. So thank you so very much for the class, Prabhu. Thank you for giving class for us today. Like I said, I missed your association. I'm so grateful to see you today. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mother.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes,
for a very lot of beautiful points, Prabhu. Like water, where it creates, maintains, and destroys. And then other point I liked a lot was, at times it is seen right and wrong or opposite, right? But they are complementary. So probably one question I have, always have difficult to understand the position of Lord Shiva. In second chapter, Bhagavad Gita, 63rd verse, Prabhupada writes, 62nd verse, 62nd chapter, 62nd, Prabhupada writes, Lord Shiva was deep in meditation, but when Parvati agitated him for sense pleasure, he agreed the proposal, and as a result, Kartikeya was born.
Yes.
When Haridas Thakur was a young devotee of the Lord, he was similarly allured by incarnation of Maya Devi, but Haridas Dasa easily passed the test. So here we are seeing a contrast of Lord Shiva, how he gave in, but whereas Haridas Thakur, So how do we understand? Even we see in Chitraketu Maharaj pastime, and then recently we were reading, we are supposed to read Suddumniya's pastime, where Lord Shiva,
ninth canto.
Ninth canto, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, basically, if you read the 62nd shloka, Prabhupada is highlighting on this one word, Dhayato Vishya. Meditation on the sense object will create that attachment, and that attachment will cause possessiveness, and that possessiveness, once it is not fulfilled, will create krodha, anger. Okay, so here we see that the two examples which are given of Srila Haridas Thakur and Lord Shiva. Prabhupada will use another example, third example of Vishwamitra Muni also in the further shlokas. Prabhupada uses it repeatedly. So it's not that Lord Shiva gave in because he had that attraction for Mother Parvati. It was not like that. We have to see the entire pastime also in a broader perspective, where he had to offer his service in terms of Kartikeya because the demigods needed it. Demigods needed Kartikeya, and that is why he allowed the factor of lust to be used in service of the Lord. Because if he would have been naturally attracted to Mother Parvati, there would have been no needs of demigods coming and requesting him that we need a Senapati, we need a commander-in-chief so that we can defeat the demigods. It would have been a natural process. But here the previous part is the demigods are coming, and then his meditation is broken. So it's not externally seeming it is right what Prabhupada is saying, but internally if you analyze, that thing, that part of lust is used as service that is offered to the devotees of the Lord. But on the contrary, if we compare it to Haridas Thakur, there was no agitation in spite of her staying there for 3 days. So the point is not who is getting agitated. The point is the power of bhakti that is displayed in overcoming your anarthas. If there is intensity and focus, then come whatever, you will not be disturbed. So these two examples has to be seen in the light of intensity of practice. He was also practicing, but he had to give in to help others. But here that commitment was shown in terms of Srila Haridas Thakur, which even got fulfilled, that the prostitute became a devotee. That was the greatest help that he could do for her. That is how he succeeded. So the point is, your consistent effort without giving in can also fulfill the part of your becoming a successful devotee, and can also help the other person becoming successful if you are successful yourself. That is how we have to see the example of Srila Haridas. He became successful by not falling, but seeing his example, the prostitute has become a devotee.
Okay.
So that is how you compare the example.
But Prabhuji, just to cross question, just to understand
Yeah.
it better. But on the surface here, the example when it is given in such a way that Lord Shiva fell down, right, for the allurement. But when we don't see the entire pastime, right, here for us only that much is defined here. When we read only this part, right, we don't know anything else. So
right,
how do we understand?
Here if you read the purport, it is before me. Prabhupada is writing, the senses require real engagement. And if they are not engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, they will certainly seek engagement in the service of materialism. Right? So the point is, where are the senses engaged? The engagement of the senses becomes prominent here. And then these two examples are given. In the material world, everyone, including Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, to say nothing of others, demigods in heavenly planets, they is subjected to the influence of sense object. And the only method to get out of the puzzle of material existence is to become Krishna conscious. Now, Brahma, why is quoting, what event of Brahmaji is quoting? Prabhupada is quoting, he's getting attracted to Vak, his own daughter. And Shiva he's connecting it to this event of Mother Parvati, which was exclusively meant for the benefit of the world. So the point is very clear. Prabhupada is saying, if there is no absorption or engagement of the senses, just like Brahmaji, why he got distracted? Because the senses were not properly engaged. And that is the advice that he gets from Lord Vishnu. And here also, externally seeing the event, why Lord Shiva is getting distracted? Prabhupada is mentioning the point, not properly engaged. And that is why he felt the earth. And that is how he creates a child. So the point Prabhupada is mentioning here is, are the senses having a quality engagement? If there is even a little tinge of materialism, just like Sita Devi's compassion and Bharat Maharaj's compassion, they had that material aspect, and that is why they fell, both of them got diverted. Is there that real engagement where only and only Krishna is not? Even there is 0.1% dilution, then there is chances that you will get deviated. Just like Mother Sita got deviated, just like Bharat Maharaj got deviated. Here we see, externally speaking, Prabhupada is saying Lord Shiva is getting deviated from that service. So what is the level of contamination? What is the level of material engagement? That will cause the diversion. Okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. So Mataji, will stop the session here.
Prabhuji, one more.
Can I ask one question?
You already know everything, Mataji.
No, Prabhuji. See, you said we should not judge God, like that. So always the one question comes, why Lord Ram sent Mother Sita to the forest? And means if we say like, king is supposed to, see the like his praja as the child, and should not favor to our family members, so that's why he might send. But still she's also prajana. So why means I need the proper answer, because this question always people question this always.
Right. For this, Mataji, we will have to understand the event from Mother Sita's perspective. if you see it from the Praja's perspective, then there will always be a confusion. So the entire process has to be seen from the people who are interacting. If we think that it was an injustice that is done to Mother Sita, so you should question this to Mother Sita, right? If we feel that is injustice, so is Mother Sita taking that as an injustice? No. Valmiki Rishi himself makes it very clear that when Lakshmana tells what was there in the mind of Lord Ram, and when Mother Sita hears this and she understands the mind of Lord Ram, there she is saying, oh, now I understand that as a queen has two roles. She is the wife of the king as well as she is the mother of the entire Praja. So here now I have to act not as the wife of Lord Ram. Now I have to act as the queen. And what is the role of the queen? She has to set the right example. And what is there in the mind of Lord Ram? That he wants me to set the right example. And there she agrees with the point that what Lord Ram is doing is right. But the separation is so intense, she falls unconscious. So seeing it from the Praja point is okay. But what is the opinion and how is she taking the separation as an event? That we have to see. We have to see the event from Sita's perspective and how is she responding to that event. So her response is very clear. Now I have to not think as a wife. Now I have to think. And this, when she is getting married, Valmiki writes this, when she is getting married, her mother is telling to Sita Devi that, see, now you will be the queen of Ayodhya. And when you are accepting the position of the queen of Ayodhya, there will be times when you have to do things which may hurt you, but still you have to act in favor of your children, who is none other than the Praja. Her mother is telling this to her. And that is the time when she remembers, yes, my mother had told me, and now I have to act in that terms. Now I have to act as a queen. I have to set the right example. And there she is ready to cooperate with Lord Ram. That is what Valmiki says for her. So that is how we have to see the event, not from my perspective, not from the Praja's perspective. But this is happening, this decision is between the two individuals. So when it is between two individuals, others have no role there. This is a decision that is taking between a husband and a wife, a king and a queen. So when we see it from that perspective, only then it will make sense. Otherwise, this event will not make sense. Also, there is one aspect that she had to reach the epitome of separation, because that is what she had asked Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha, that let me go through that intense experience of separation through you, so that I can experience the Vipralamba Bhav. On that condition, she had come down to perform pastimes with Lord Ram. So that is how she reaches the epitome of separation in Valmiki Rishi's ashram. So her desire is getting fulfilled in the entire episode. What Lord Ram had to do by keeping her away from him? Is Lord Ram so crazy that just because people are saying he'll separate it? No, there is a huge transaction of emotions that is happening between Ram and Sita. We are not focusing on that transaction because we think from our mindset. Acha, uske saath bura ho gaya, uske saath galat ho. She is benefiting from the entire episode because she is going through that Vipralamba Bhav, just like Jad Bharat. He was allowed to commit that mistake so that he could experience that intense separation. And that is where Radha Govind Maharaj gives that example of the jalebi put in the syrup, sugar syrup, and that it is floating. There is nothing but sugar. He is tasting sugar, but for us it is like we can't taste that sugar on our level because we are full of unnecessary thoughts for the Lord Ram. We are judging him on our level, or why he did like this. But both of them are floating in ecstasy. This is the reason they came down, to experience that intense separation and enjoy that separation. So whenever we see any pastime, we have to take consideration of for whom it is being performed.
So Prabhuji, she was in Ravana's like Lanka, that time was also separation, Prabhuji. Was that not enough separation?
See, separation there was surely intense. But again, if you read the starting part of Ramayana, I have repeated this pastime many times. Now, there is one more thing that we have to understand. When she left her mother's house, she took away the parrot, female parrot, which she had. And since she took away the female parrot, when that female parrot was pregnant, the male parrot speaks out that you will have to go through the same experience when you're pregnant. You will have to you will have to go through the separation of your husband when you are pregnant. So this is one more aspect that the Acharyas add. Even when the Supreme Lord comes, he doesn't cross the boundaries of laws of nature that he himself has created. Just like in the episode of the Brahmana's 10 sons. Why didn't Lord Krishna, how did Lord Krishna allow the 10 sons of the Brahmanas to die before him? And he's coming every now and then and blaspheming the Lord. He said, no, that is his previous background. And it is not like that never before the son has died before the father. No, there are many events in Mahabharata. There are many stories which Bhishma Pitama is telling to Yudhishthira. There are many events when the son has died before father. When he was a child, he has died. So Krishna didn't want to interfere. He said, I have made this laws, I will allow it to happen. But when did Krishna interfere? It was only when his pure devotee intervened on behalf of that person. That is where Krishna says, forget all the rules. My devotee he has taken shelter of my devotee. Now I have to help him. That is where Lord breaks the rules. Exclusively only when a pure devotee interferes. That is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in his commentary. It was only when Arjuna intervened in the Brahmana's life. That is where Krishna broke the rules. He said, okay, I'll interfere for your sake also. That is also a lesson which we have to learn from Sita's eventually seeming the childish act which Lord Ram did on Mantra of breaking the mud ball on her back. That is what caught hold of her attention. And she said, I'll take a full revenge of Ram. And she was just waiting for the right moment to take that revenge. And that is where she influences Kaikai, because that was burning. Because she felt that she was insulted before the entire Sabha. All the females were there and Lord Ram breaks the mud ball over her back and everybody is laughing. She held back that. So what the thing we have to learn is, for others it may be entertainment, but for that person it can be a painful event. For Mantra it was painful. Otherwise things would have flown very smooth. There would have been no Ram Leela beyond Balakanda. So there are various things that we have to consider when we see a pastime. Okay, Mataji.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very
Hare
nice
Krishna.
answer.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Prabhuji. Beautiful explanation. Prabhuji, do you have time, Prabhuji?
No,
One
you
more
have to rush for another. We'll answer next time. I have to rush for another, sir.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
yes, ma'am. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening class today. We are very grateful to you and we look forward to your association again in the future. Let's pay obeisance to Prabhuji. Grant us Srimad Bhagavatam
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhu ji ki jai.
Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Thank you so much, everyone, for
Radhe Radhe.
joining today's class. We'll meet again tomorrow, Srimad Bhagavatam class. Hare Krishna.